All right, let's just get right into it. If you're in the mortgage industry right now, you know this is not business as usual. We are at a huge fork in the road, a point where the old way of just grinding it out, it's just not going to cut it anymore. There are two very, very different paths opening up as we head towards 2026.
And this quote, wow, it really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The entire market has shifted under our feet. Technology, what borrowers expect, the competition, everything's changing. Trying to run your business with the same old playbook is like trying to navigate a brand new city with a map from 10 years ago. It's not just a bad idea, it's a guaranteed way to get left behind. So, where's the biggest leak in the boat? It's right here. 30%. Think about that for a second. Industry-wide, a staggering 30% of all our resources are just evaporating, wasted on manually shuffling documents and typing the same information into 10 different places. That's nearly a third of your energy going to tasks that don't make you a single dime.
And that brings us to path number one. This is the path that, let's be honest, a lot of us are still on. It's the path of just do more. More hours, more stress, more brute force. But this path has a hidden cost, a steep one. And it's not just about your bank account, it's about your sanity. So let's talk about the real price of this chaos.
Okay, this number should be a wake-up call for everybody. 17. You know what that is? That's the average number of loan officers a single real estate agent is working with right now. 17. So that special relationship you think you have, you're not their go-to, you're just one name in a very long list of contacts. The referral game has never been tougher.
So let me get this straight. You're fighting tooth and nail against 16 other people for every single deal, and at the same time, the profit you make on each loan is getting thinner and thinner. On top of all that, your clients, who can order anything online and have it delivered in an hour, expect you to close their loan at the speed of light. It's the ultimate squeeze. Do more, do it faster, and do it for less money. Sound familiar?
And here's where you're losing business without even knowing it. 40%. That's the number of mortgage inquiries that happen outside of a normal 9-to-5 workday. So while you're trying to have dinner with your family or, sleep, your best, most motivated prospects are online looking for help. If you don't have a system to grab them right then and there, that lead is ice cold by morning.
And this is so important because it connects the dots between the daily grind and the real human cost. That manual data entry isn't just a boring task. It's what scientists call decision fatigue. It literally makes you worse at making the big, important decisions. Those repetitive follow-up calls aren't just calls. They're another family dinner missed. These aren't just operational problems. They are robbing you of your growth and your life.
So you're feeling all this pressure, and the obvious answer seems to be more tech, right? Automate everything. But that's where things get really interesting, because we run right into a fascinating paradox about what today's borrowers actually want.
Exactly. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. With all the apps and websites and digital tools out there, a massive 90% of home buyers say, no, I still want a real person to guide me through this. They don't want to be handed off to a robot for the biggest financial decision of their lives. So there's the dilemma. How in the world do you become super efficient without losing that human connection that actually wins you the business?
And that question brings us to the second path. This path isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about finally building a system for your business. A system that solves that high-tech, high-touch paradox. And it starts with a mortgage processing virtual assistant.
Now, I need you to completely rethink what a virtual assistant is. We're not talking about just hiring someone to answer the phone. Think of this as installing a pre-built operational system into your business. A system designed to take over all of those time-sucking, manual, non-revenue tasks, that 30% we talked about earlier, so you are finally free to focus on what actually matters, advising your clients and growing your relationships.
And the transformation is actually pretty simple. It happens in 3 steps. First, you delegate all the administrative chaos. The document chasing, the data entry, the scheduling nightmares, gone. Second, you take all that time you just got back and you pour it into your clients and your referral partners. And the result? You can finally scale your business predictably, based not on how many hours you can work, but on how strong your system is. Now, I know this sounds good in theory, but let's get down to brass tacks. Let's look at what this looks like in the real world. I want to share a few quick stories about people just like you who chose this second path and went from being completely overwhelmed to totally outperforming everyone around them.
So first up, let's talk about a broker up in Portland. On paper, their business was a huge success, but behind the scenes, It was running them into the ground. They were a complete victim of their own growth, just constantly putting out fires and feeling like they had zero control over their own life.
This was their life. 60-hour work weeks were normal. The pipeline was always jammed up because little admin tasks were getting dropped. Client follow-up was totally random. And the craziest part? Even though they were working more than ever, their income had completely flatlined. They were stuck on the hamster wheel.
So they brought in a mortgage processing VA system. The change was immediate. They got more than 15 hours of their life back every single week. That new efficiency meant they could handle 30% more loans without hiring more people. And for the first time in years, they actually took 2 full weekends off a month. Their clients got amazing, consistent communication, and they finally got their life back. All right, next, let's head down to Austin. Picture this: a great loan officer, really knows her stuff, but her business had hit a brick wall. She just couldn't grow anymore because she was trying to do absolutely everything herself.
She was stuck at 5 loans a month, literally drowning in the paperwork that came with them. New leads would call, but by the time she could call them back, they'd already moved on. And taking a top realtor out for lunch to build that relationship? Forget it. There was simply no time. Growth wasn't just slow, it was impossible.
By handing off all the processing and admin work to a VA, she didn't just break through that ceiling, she blew it up. She went to a consistent 8 to 10 loans a month. Her time spent on paperwork was cut in half. Every new lead got a call within the hour, and her calendar suddenly opened up for those all-important meetings with partners that fuel real long-term growth.
Okay, last one. This is a small team down in Phoenix, and they were on the express train to total burnout. The stress was off the charts, morale was terrible, and the quality of their work was starting to slip because of it.
The whole team was just living in crisis mode. That decision fatigue we talked about meant critical details were being missed, causing huge last-minute problems. The vibe was just drained. Nobody was happy, and you can bet their clients could feel it.
So they bring in a mortgage processing VA, and this is the key part. It wasn't just about adding a person, it was about adding a system. Suddenly, the workflow was smooth. That alone cut the team's stress way down. They could finally get ahead of problems, and the entire team could take a breath and get back to focusing on what they loved, giving their clients an amazing experience.
So as we wrap this up, it really all boils down to one simple question. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you building a job or are you building a business? Because that first path, the path of chaos and doing it all yourself, that's just a really demanding, high-stress job that you can never, ever quit. The second path, the one built on systems and smart delegation, that's how you build a real business, one that serves you, not the other way around.
If you are tired of being on that hamster wheel and you're ready to start building a real business, the first step is simple. Just find out what's possible. You can take that step by scheduling a free strategy session with a team like Virtual Next Gen Solutions. Just head over to virtualnextgen.com or shoot them an email at info@virtualnextgen.com. The important thing is to make a decision. Stop grinding, start building. It's time to choose your path.